Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Litany of Catholic Martyrs for July 14th. Please pray for the families of those who had loved ones martyred on Easter Sunday in Sri Lanka. As always, I offer this devotion, this ministry, this mission in order to um, make sure that everyone understands that martyrdom and being a Catholic martyr, being a blood martyr in the church is part of our duty, part of what we're taught to do in defense of the faith. There is nothing more important than the faith. There's nothing more important than God. There's nothing more important than Jesus. Jesus started the church for a reason. And the martyrs gave up their lives in defense of that. They loved the church. They loved the Lord. And more importantly, I shouldn't say more importantly, but just as well, they loved us. Because through them, the church grows. As goes the martyrs, the blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church. For the first 400 years, they murdered our popes and they murdered Catholics left and right. They tried to snuff us out. That was their goal, to kill us all off. In reality, every time they killed one, more sprang up in their place. It's the way God made things. It's just the way it is. They can't. Jesus promised the gates of hell shall never prevail against this church. And so every time they do something evil, more good comes from it. So I try and remember these men, women, and children because they are not remembered in homilies as much as they should be. They are not remembered on a daily basis. So I do this. I read from this little document that I found that has a daily reminder of all these. It's not all of them either. It's just ones that they've picked. But each and every one of these martyrs, these are all blood martyrs. As far as I know, they're all blood martyrs. So with all that being said, join me in remembering these martyrs for today. At Lyons, the demise of Saint Bonaventure, Cardinal and Bishop of Albano, confessor and doctor of the Order of Minorites, most celebrated for his learning and holiness of life. At Rome, St. Eustace, soldier under the tribune Claudius, a miraculous cross appearing to him. He believed in Christ, was baptized and bestowed his goods upon the poor. Arrested afterwards by the prefect Magnetius, he was scourged, had a heated helmet placed upon his head, and was thrown into the fire, but without an injury even to a hair on his head. Finally, he yielded up his soul in the confession of the Lord. At Sinope in Pontus, the martyr St. Phocas, bishop of that city, under the Emperor Trajan, after having been imprisoned, bound, struck with the sword, and exposed to the fire for Christ, he took his flight to heaven. His remains were brought to Vienne, in France, and deposited in the Church of the Holy Apostles. Excuse me. At Alexandria, St. Heraclius, bishop, whose fame was so great that the historian Africanus repaired to Alexandria to see him, as he himself testified. At Carthage, St. Cyrus, bishop, on whose festival St. Augustine spoke of him to his people. At Como, St. Felix, first bishop of that city. At Brescia, St. Optatian, who was a bishop. At Daventry in Belgium, St. Marcellin, priest and confessor. And finally at Rome, St. Camillus, at Rome, St. Camillus de Lelis, confessor, founder of the Clerks Regular, who ministered to the sick. Renowned for virtues and miracles, he was numbered among the saints by the sovereign pontiff, Pope Benedict XIV. These are the men and women and children on this day that we recognize and celebrate their gift of their lives. Please remember them today as you go through your day. Somebody cuts you off in traffic. Somebody stands in line too long. Somebody talks during church and you don't like that. Or whatever reason, your neighbor's mowing his yard at 6 o'clock in the morning. Don't you hate that? Something goes on that you have a hard time dealing with. Just remember these men, women, and children. and what they sacrificed in the love of the church. We can do no less, as we are asked to do the same things. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful day. Thanks again for listening. Bye-bye now.